Chicago Bears have an opportunity to literally break the NFL. Now, first, before I get started into this, I just wanted to give a shout out real quick. This is a video by Windy City Productions or Windy City Prodz, whatever you want to call it. Justin Fields' career highlights so far. This is what I'm going to be playing in the background, but I first just wanted to give a shout out to him. Now that we can get started, so as you guys all know, the Chicago Bears have the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft via the Carolina Panthers, and there's been a lot of buzz around whether they should keep Fields and draft Caleb Williams. If they should trade Justin Fields, what they should really do. But basically, today I'm just going to be talking about how the Bears can literally break the NFL by trading out of the pick, getting an unreal amount of draft capital, a top tier player on top of that, and just literally building a super team with the best young roster in the NFL. I hear a lot of experts and, like Twitter experts say that the Bears should reset the quarterback clock and take Caleb Williams at the first overall pick. I honestly just think that this is a really stupid argument because one, it's not like Justin Fields has played like Patrick Mahomes. Like he's not going to get like a max extension. He's not going to get like this huge deal. And besides his actual contract extension, you can just look at what the Bears can get for trading out of the number one overall pick. You can get a swap pick in 2024 this draft. You'll get a next year's first round pick and the year after, possibly the year after that. And I'm sure like, second round picks are going to be thrown in there and a top tier player. So it's just like, would you rather have 6+ first round picks on rookie deals or would you rather have, two this year? And the Bears have a lot of holes to fill out, including wide receiver, edge, even running back, defensive line needs to get better. I know we got some young pieces, but still it can always get better. And as for like a top tier player that Bears fans kind of look at possibly getting, I feel like we're talking about someone like Jonathan Allen, maybe Dexter Lawrence if the Giants chose to do that, which, I don't know, but honestly, anything could happen. Maybe someone like Max Crosby if Antonio Pierce doesn't get hired. Either way, if it's not any of those guys, we're still talking about getting at least two or three first round picks on top of a separate player. Just think about how dangerous that team can be for the next 10 years. You're getting just an unreal amount of draft capital that you can use to build around your quarterback, build around the team. If you look at the 49ers, I've talked about this in a previous video. The 49ers are winning with a quarterback that was taken as the last overall pick in the NFL draft. He wasn't a first round, he wasn't scouted out to go in the first round. They didn't say he was a first round talent. They didn't say he was a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. He got taken at the last pick of the seventh round. And they just beat the Packers because they own the Packers. Shout out the 49ers. Appreciate you. But they're going into the NFC Championship with the guy that was Mr. Irrelevant. So if you have someone with the skill set of Justin Fields, he can make any throw on the run. He can improvise. He can scramble and turn broken plays into literally 80-yard rushing touchdowns. But I'll make some separate points too, because I know that there's going to be some people that still believe that Caleb Williams is the guy that we should take. So if the draft capital, the little spiel I had there doesn't satisfy you, there are also real major concerns with taking Caleb Williams. First, I'm just going to look at recent Bears history. They usually don't really pair the head coach to a quarterback. Mitch Trubisky got taken by head coach John Fox at the time, and then a year later, Fox gets fired, and then the Bears hire Matt Nagy. And then Nagy and Trubisky are together for a couple years, and then Justin Fields gets drafted, and then a year later, guess what? Matt Nagy gets fired. Eberflus comes in, and now it's been Eberflus and Fields. And it just wouldn't make any sense to me that if Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren have decided to keep Matt Eberflus, that we're going to go and draft a quarterback and possibly just keep this cycle going. It just honestly doesn't make any sense to me. So I have to believe that they're going to change course around here, not follow the same mistakes that we made previously, and legitimately take this team to new heights. Now, I'm not acting like Caleb Williams is not worthy of maybe being the number one overall pick. He's definitely an incredible talent. If you watch any of his highlights at USC, he scrambles, he launches the ball downfield. He does a really good job at just keeping his eyes downfield, and honestly, is a really good improviser. But he definitely has a lot of concerns about himself. So for one, his numbers are significantly worse against top 25 ranked teams. Number two, he also has the issue of holding onto the ball for too long. Number three, there are some definite concerns about kind of where his love is for the game. I'm not going to say he's a bust because he's interested in doing media and, doing photo shoots and commercials and anything like that. I'm not going to say he's going to be terrible because of that. But I'm just saying this is such a huge draft for the Chicago Bears, and Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren, I believe, are really strategic in the way that they look at things and the guys that they bring in. Montez Sweat is a perfect example of this. At the trade deadline this year, everyone thought that the Bears were going to trade for Chase Young, and it ended up being Montez Sweat they traded for, and he actually went at a higher price point than Chase Young did. It was a little confusing at first, but it wasn't like that we thought Montez Sweat was bad. It was just we kind of thought that we were going to get Chase Young. But we ended up getting Montez Sweat, and the reason that Poles and Kevin Warren really like him is because he's just an athletic freak. He's big, he's long, he's strong. He can disrupt the run game as well as rush the passer, which we desperately needed. And he just seems like a good guy. I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about him. As soon as he came in, he backed up Eberflus as the head coach. He said the locker room's really good. I understand you can kind of say like, well, obviously they have to say that. Yeah, but there's plenty of times where you can clearly see conflict, and the Bears seem like a really united ball club. So back to Caleb Williams, I'm not really sure if Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren want to take a shot on a guy that does stuff like the whole paint your nails and write "fuck Utah" on it. And not to mention, if we do draft Caleb Williams, you know that the Chicago media is just going to have a field day with him. All they're going to do is just ask him questions about Justin Fields and whatever. If he felt like he deserved to be a number one overall pick, you guys know how the Chicago media is. And we have no clue how that will affect his play on the field. Now, again, I just like to say none of these points necessarily mean that Caleb Williams is a bust. But I'm just saying, as a Bears fan and trying to see what GM Ryan Poles and President Kevin Warren will do, it's definitely important to know all these factors. Like I said in the beginning, the Bears have an opportunity to literally break the NFL. They can trade out of the pick, get a historic haul, and it literally can just build this team into a super team of young, top tier prospects and top tier players. If the Bears traded out of the pick, they could honestly compete for a Super Bowl as early as next year. And I know one of my first videos I made said that, and I said, I know if that triggers you, click off. Maybe it's crazy. Maybe I just sound like the average Bears fan on Twitter, the average Fields Glazer. But I'm just saying, if you really take a step back and you look at the league as a whole, all the teams that are in the playoffs right now that are succeeding have complete teams. I love making the comparison to the 49ers because they're literally winning with one of the lowest graded prospects coming out of the draft. And he started out as the third string for them? So to me, it's just like, how could you not want the Bears to pass on Caleb Williams, trade out of the pick, and just build this team into something that can wreck the league for years to come? But yeah, guys, that's going to be about it. I really appreciate the recent engagement. We actually passed 3,000 channel views, which is honestly just crazy. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. Make sure to like, subscribe. We also passed 50 subscribers. That's also kind of crazy. I have a lot of fun making these videos, and I really like hearing what you guys have to think, and I like communicating with you guys. Yeah, that's going to be about it. See ya.